Scuderia Ferrari is almost ready with its 677 project for the 2025 Formula One season, a proposal imbued with bright ambitions and fierce determination. A championship looms on the horizon as a true promise, with one goal: to stop watching others triumph. This is the dream nurtured with resolve, which has to be confirmed on the track when engines start roaring during the pre-season testing session, which will again take place at the Bahrain International Circuit in Sakhir in February. The Italian side is preparing to change its skin while keeping the SF25 as a natural successor to its predecessor. Behind this evolution lies a subtle yet relentless intent to eliminate once and for all the issues that have shackled its ambitions, particularly in tire management during the last Formula One racing campaign. Frenchman Loic Serra, arriving from Mercedes, brings not only the echo of his past successes, but also expertise honed in the quiet tension of Brackley's laboratories. It couldn't be otherwise. This man directed the beating heart of the German team, leading the department dedicated to vehicle dynamics. Ferrari plans to exploit this talent to the last drop, aware that tire performance is not just a technical matter, but an art, the delicate balance that binds the car to its universe of speed. In addition to the meticulous work on suspension layouts, which we have detailed in other videos that dissect every aspect of the Scuderia's car today, we invite you to explore another equally intriguing topic that emerges as a fine thread in this grand narrative. Without further ado, let's see what it's about. So the Ferrari engineers and technicians, well, they plan to introduce several technical changes to reset the aerodynamic platform. But the wheelbase of the Ferrari 677 will remain the same as the SF24. This is the maximum allowed by current technical regulations, a length of 3,600 millimeters. Although many have speculated about a possible shortening of the wheelbase, we can confirm that it will remain unchanged. On the other hand, if the level of downforce generated by the Italian single-seater were to decrease, tire management would automatically become much more challenging. As a result, the process of warming up the tires could become significantly more complicated, something Ferrari cannot afford. We refer particularly to the single preparation lap during qualifying sessions. This disadvantage turned into a benefit over the 300-kilometer race distance, but compromised more than one starting position. As mentioned, the idea behind these modifications is aerodynamic. The front tire generates a significant amount of turbulence behind it. There are various methods to reduce and displace this turbulence to minimize its negative effects. Ferrari's objective was to increase the distance between the front tire and the sidepods. Essentially, the Maranello team wanted a few extra millimeters to manage the tire wake of the front tire, a critical issue in today's cars. The regulations in this area are very restrictive, leaving little room for solutions similar to the old barge boards. Thus, the Ferrari engineers have to act differently, using vortices and flows to redirect the turbulent fluid mass. This gradual displacement occurs over a certain distance. The greater this distance, the higher the benefit achieved. Just a few millimeters make a significant difference and help address this important challenge. This move aims to reduce the percentage of turbulence reaching the floor and potentially being drawn into it. There are other methods and devices to prevent this, but avoiding it entirely is always preferable. On this note, a crucial aspect needs clarification. The extension of this section of the F1 car had to be compensated by shortening another section. Nothing else could have been done to make things work. This is why Ferrari, through targeted efforts, effectively shortened the gearbox casing to recover those precious millimeters allocated further forward. This measure involved developing many parts of the car, as confirmed by Ferrari team principal Frédéric Vasseur in recent weeks. During the Christmas dinner of the historic team, the French manager shared percentages concerning the SF25's new components. The Italian team was thus forced to adapt several elements, including the transmission, to achieve a new balance for the car, both in terms of weight and aerodynamics. Speaking about the importance of the Pirelli tires, let's also take a look at how the F1 tire supplier is working to prepare for the upcoming rule changes in 2026, while also focusing on the last year of the current regulations. In Formula One, Pirelli's tire development has never stopped, despite the premier motorsport category having chosen a sole supplier for several years now. Numerous changes to technical regulations have required the Italian manufacturer to stay in step with the evolving framework, while also striving to meet the team's needs. In several cases, the team led by Mario Isola has had to rely on simulations for tire design. This occurred between 2016 and 2021, and continues to be the case as another regulatory revolution approaches for F1 cars. Continuous collaboration with the teams is crucial for Pirelli to develop and produce tires suited to an ever-evolving platform. This platform refers to F1 cars, which, under regulatory continuity, become increasingly efficient thanks to the engineers' work focused on generating more downforce to maximize vehicle performance. This trend is evident when comparing data from 2023 to the previous season. The average time for pole positions, in dry conditions, decreased by 0.8 of a second last season, while the average fastest race lap dropped by 0.6. The tire supplier received new simulations from teams at the end of November, used to estimate potential further lap time gains for 2025, along with insights from the post-season test in Abu Dhabi following the final race of the previous championship. Entering the fourth and final year of regulatory continuity, performance improvements are expected to slow. However, Pirelli's chief engineer, Simone Berra, cautions that simulations are not definitive. He reported that they had observed very high loads from 2 or 3 teams and explained that they usually received simulations mid-season and at the end of the season. According to Pirelli's chief engineer, nobody had anticipated such loads, as it was believed that the teams had already reached peak performance levels. However, he noted that there was still more to gain, describing the situation as very interesting. Although 2025 will be the last season for this generation of tires, Pirelli does not believe teams will slow their development efforts. The Italian tire supplier has demonstrated excellent adaptability in the past to performance levels that differed significantly from those projected in simulations. For example, last year Pirelli introduced a new tire construction mid-season at the British Grand Prix, designed to accommodate higher speeds and loads compared to pre-season test data. In parallel with monitoring products for the current season, Pirelli is developing new tires for the 2026 cars. These will remain 18 inches, but will be narrower than the current ones to reduce the rolling resistance of future vehicles. This is a significant challenge, given that track tests will be less reliable because the teams have provided and will provide cars built under the current regulations, modified to approximate the behavior of the next generation of cars. As in the past, Pirelli will undoubtedly rely heavily on theoretical modeling and the support teams provide through their simulations. Having a 2026 model equipped with the new tires for wind tunnel testing would be immensely helpful. However, the FIA has not considered this option. The Italian company continues to prove its capability as Formula One's sole tire supplier, with a contract currently extending through 2027. Additionally, the Italian firm supplies tires for the Formula 2 and Formula 3 championships.